Hey guys, how's it going? I'm bringing you a brand new video today, and this is of a Criterium that happened on Saturday, and this was in Elgin, Illinois. It's part of a 3-race series held by Cymet. Um, Props to Rob Curtis and Cymet this year for putting on a great Omnium. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it out to the race on Friday because I actually had my anniversary with my wife, and the race was early enough in the day where I couldn't really make it work. So I didn't get to race on Friday. This race, though, was on Saturday, and it was an extremely fun race. I love this race. I raced it last year. The course is awesome. It's always pretty fast, although this year in particular was extremely fast. We were off off to the races from the whistle. So as you guys can see, we don't really ever dip below 23, 24 unless I'm further towards the back, as well as on the downhill here. So most of this course, as you can tell, is relatively flat. There's a slight uphill here on the back half, and then in a few corners we have a downhill into a really interesting and really kind of fun uphill off camber left turn. That'll be coming up here in a second. But I did make a mistake before this race even started, and that was that I did not eat properly, which really had me struggling through a lot of the race. Um, so if you see me kind of starting to fall off, it's really because I was pretty demoralized when I realized that I hadn't eaten anything and my stomach started to basically punch itself until I was so miserable throughout most of the race. So you notice here's the off-camber uphill turn. Really, if you're not in probably the top 5 spots, you're going to be slowing down a ton through that corner. And unfortunately, like I said, I was pretty beat up this day, so I tried to stay with the group for most of the race. Didn't really get to move up as much as I would have liked, but that happens. So you'll see here in a minute that I'm just kind of staying on people's wheels as I can. We were really moving, and I wasn't ready for it. It was just something I was struggling with today. I did try to keep this video relatively short for you guys because as you can see it's very wet out there. It wasn't raining, but the ground was extremely wet and we had kind of standing water in some places. So I tried to keep the video short because I know it's not very interesting to just kind of watch blurred, colored blobs move around. So hopefully it's short enough where I can keep your guys' attention here. So coming into these corners, we were moving pretty good. Um, right here, not in particular, but you can kind of see we're speeding up towards the downhill. And the further up in the pack you were, the easier this was, and the faster you could take it. But big thing about this downhill and up until the next corner on the uphill is you really need to know how to balance your weight and balance your bike, as well as know just how much speed you're actually supposed to carry. Because if you take too much speed through that corner, some bad things can happen. Um, so right here you can kind of see, again, I'm just trying to stay in the group. This is definitely towards the back of the group. I'm just grabbing wheels where I can. Uh, and eventually in a couple laps what ends up happening is myself and a few other riders just kind of get blown off the back and we start working together, which is awesome. You can see my teammate here on the right, and really I'm just kind of trying to stick with him. I know that if I can sit on his wheel towards the back I'll be okay at least, but again you can see that I'm struggling a lot during this race. Um, it wasn't that the race was particularly difficult. I think right now I'm just kind of in a spot where I need to step back and take a look at what I'm doing with my training, what I'm doing in the races, and just do a little bit of reflection, see where I can improve at, because there is definitely some room for improvement as this season has kind of turned out to be mediocre so far. I'm not very worried about it. This is how last season started out. I had, you know, unimportant results up until about this point, and then as the season progressed, things got better and better and better until, late June through July and August, I was just taking podiums left and right. So hopefully that can happen again. I'm really looking forward to actually getting some podium and some upgrade points because like I said, when I first started this channel, it was my goal this year to try and get up to Cat 3 by the end of the season. With the way races have gone so far, it's not really looking like it's going to happen, but hopefully if I can just smash a few out of the park, maybe we can get to it. So you see here, this is where I kind of started to fall off. At this point, I'm with a couple other guys. This is my buddy Ryan. You've seen him in a bunch of other videos. And I think we had about 4 riders here, 5 riders here. And we're not too far off the lead group, which was really kind of motivation to just kind of push it as hard as we could and get back up to the lead group. They just crested that slight hill as we came around that corner. So we're really trying to work together, trying to haul some ass up these hills and down this course, just to try and get back on, because I figure if we can get back on, we shouldn't have a problem hanging on at that point, because the race had slowed down a little bit, but we really just needed to put the work in to get back up to the group, and I knew we had enough guys where we could do it if we were working together. So we kind of organized, and we're sitting in a pace line here. And right here, I decide to give Ryan a break. I'll take this downhill section up into the uphill in the front straight. And you can see it's getting pretty wet. We're moving at a pretty good click here. And so we take the turn here, and it's pretty fast, but pretty comfortable speed for this turn. And I come out wide enough here. Maybe I could have come out a little bit wider, but I just was carrying way too much speed, and I went down. I actually took Ryan with me. He got up and continued racing, and I didn't. Thanks, guys. If you liked it, click the like button. I'll see you next time.